slow up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Hey everybody, happy Saturday. Figured I'd jump in here. Amnesia in the house, Susiana in the house. Good to see you guys. Oh yeah, it is Friday, isn't it? It's my Saturday. There goes my, goodness gracious. I'm throwing up Girls' Day, Friday, Saturday. I'm ready for a girls' night. Hi, Lisa. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you for joining in. I'm going to go over a couple of cases, but I figured I'd start off with a mindfulness message and an angel blessing. And so let's see what our mindfulness message is for today. Hope everybody's doing good. I know. Thank you for all the love and support. Oh yeah, I've invited Ikadmel, and of course in the live I did John Davis. I've invited a few of our men since Turtle King doesn't always show. Am I echoing at all? Just want to make sure the sound is good because I can't hear it. I don't have any headphones. They all break here. Okay, cool. Okay. Let's see what we've got. Yeah, I'm excited. And I'm excited for tonight's, definitely excited for tonight's live with Cher and Bullhorn Betty. So let's see. I am enough. I am beautiful just as I am. I am loved just as I am. I am worthy just by being me. I don't need to fit in. I just need to be myself, and the right people will come into my life. Those who see and appreciate me for all that I am. I am enough. Maybe in passing. Yeah, you have seen her before, Anissa. Breathe. It's easy for me to return to the present moment simply by breathing. If I am feeling anxious or worried, I close my eyes and breathe. I in deeply as I picture myself filling up with the white light. Then exhale and envision stress and tension leaving my body. In this moment, I am free to gently stretch and open my eyes, feeling refreshed. I think all of us in this neck of the woods of the YouTube streets kind of need that reminder every now and then, right? And then on to our angel blessings. Sever vows of poverty. Dear one, there's no need to suffer or sacrifice. Hold the intention of undoing any vows of poverty or self-denial that you may have made, consciously or unconsciously in any lifetime. As you do so, all effects these vows will be undone for everyone involved in all directions of time. Can't really see it with my selfie light in the way. And it is safe for you to receive. The more you allow yourself to receive, the more resources you have available to share with others. Open your arms to receive and be a conduit for good coming to you and through you as it blesses the world. So that's our mindful message and our angel blessings. As you are enough, just breathe. Sever vows of poverty, which kind of goes with law of attraction. And it's safe for you to receive, which goes hand in hand with law of attraction and not letting anything become a restriction or burden to you. So that definitely, hi Miss Robin, good to see you, lovely. Definitely resonates with quite a few of us, I think, to be honest. So I wanted to go over, let me turn this. I kind of wanted to go over a few things that were going on in the latest chats. I did get some positive news with Doug Live Northport's case, and looking forward to that. His family, his personal PayPal is in the description if anybody wants to help out or feels to donate and help him with that. I know there's a lot of love out there for Mr. Doug. There's also Cody Bigsby. Dolly Vision is aka Jimmy or Turtle King. He is running amok in Virginia. He is doing some active searches for Cody Bigsby, which I think is big because I think all of us as creators or anybody that's involved definitely needs to get his name out there because it definitely isn't enough. So what I was going to do, I have his link below in the comments. I was thinking about streaming, but I don't think I'll be that ballsy right now. But there have been some updates on Dylan Rounds. So I wanted to take a look at this and go over that. Give me just a minute. Okay. So police and FBI identify a suspect in Dylan Round's disappearance, which last night I covered the news release. Sorry about that. Got too many things going on one. Oh, really? You haven't? Okay. Well, I have been. And it definitely is very intriguing and interesting. And it's a lot of people have been following this case. And there's a lot of unnecessary chaos in it. Let's take a look. Box Elder County, Utah. Along with the FBI announcement, suspect in the disappearance of Dylan Rounds, who has been missing since May 28th. The joint release states that over the course of the investigation, multiple people have been interviewed and arrests have been made for unrelated warrants and crimes. that have been discovered during this process. Now, if you remember, Jim Brenner was arrested for, I believe, firearms of a felon. But his charges are insane. He used to live in town, and his charges are all like assaults. It's basically he got at least I know of 1 DUI, at least 3 basic just assaults, and around 5 plus. Sorry, my phone keeps going off. 5 plus assaults, or I would consider it attempted murder because it's all with malicious intent, which is insane. And Chase Beanstra was holding his weapons in his home, and he also got arrested for having a firearm of a felon. And what was really intriguing to me was one of the firearms, specifically a pretty big one. I cannot remember it off the top of my head, but it was hiding in the crawl space of his house. So both of them are being held. I honestly believe they have all the suspects on separate cases being held just so they can't run. And do you think it became that way because of Jim? Which way are you talking about, love? Police began investigating the possibility of Dylan being the victim of a crime around mid-June. According to the release, the current totality of the information gathered from many interviews and searches, along with the analysis of both physical evidence and forensic data, has identified James Brenner as a suspect, which I know, gotcha. As I know, Chase Beanstra is definitely an eye shot of that, along with, it said up to 4 from what I've gathered on some of the others. Which Jim are you talking about? James Terry? Jim Terry? Yeah, he made it a circus, but then again, I gotta give him credit because it made it start to trend too, you know? So he definitely caused a lot of the chaos, but also, in the other hand, he got the story out there like it blew up. So do I agree with what he does and how he does it? No. But I do have to give him credit for getting this story out and trending, you know? So I'm on the fence with that, even though I don't agree with certain things. The basic people in his life of Dylan Rounds was Justin Rounds and Candace Coley, the parents, and his grandparents. Are we thinking this is a giant meth operation? You know, Miss Robin, it's all methed up, along with Summer's situation. To be brutally honest, a couple of the cases are, in my opinion. But this Jim Brenner he goes by Jim, but his correct name is James Brenner. And those assaults and malicious assaults are on top of weapons charges and prison time. That's not even including those cases. But Chase definitely held on to all of Jim's weapons. And that was kind of concerning. It almost made you think that they were tied in, which is interesting because they definitely, who's going to hold on to somebody's weapons and keep it hidden? I don't understand it either. They should have been, especially with malicious intent, like 3 to 5 times. That's absolutely insane. He should not be walking free. None whatsoever. And there's quite a few players in this game, but being that there's only 50 people in the town, 50 plus people in that town, it's definitely sus, but it's not hard to kind of backtrack when you don't have that many people in town. Let me see if there's anything else. The investigation is not closed and remains active as efforts continue to be made to find Dylan. Also, side note, from what I'm gathering, per the locals, that the news release requesting no searches was on request of Justin Rounds, which is Dylan's dad. Family members reported Rounds missing from his home on Memorial Day. Yes, Miss Robin, it only opened once every 3 weeks, one day every 3 weeks. It was technically open, which is absolutely absurd and insane, especially when they're paying, I think the rent was between $1,200 and $1,500. You're okay. You're okay, love. I'm here just to chat over some cases. Monthly rent was between $1,200 to $1,500 a month, right? Granted, I ran a restaurant for 12 years, so yeah, the liquor license kind of goes into just the taxes and everything, especially if you've already purchased the liquor license. You just have to pay taxes on certain things. I'm getting a phone call. I'll call them back. But when you come down to the money, if they've got people drinking like a fish or selling like bottles, that's probably the only way they could have their overhead. Ellen Berg is the one that owns the Saddle Sore, and Kurt Wadsworth is the one that is renting it out for $1,200 to $1,500 a month and only opens it once every about 3 weeks or so. So yeah, there's a lot into it, Anissa. It's definitely interesting because having my restaurant experience, having just overhead for rent, not including electric, they're low on water, they're low on multiple factors. There's a lot of factors that go into running a business, including delivery or stock, inventory. Yeah, there's been some big releases lately on the case. So it definitely has been insane. Can you guys hear me? Or is it just my phone? Okay, cool. I guess my phone doesn't want to work because I was making sure. So we'll go back to this. I guess my phone just froze. So family members reported Rounds missing from his home on Memorial Day. Rounds, who is 19, is originally from eastern Idaho, but has been living in Lucin, Utah, working on to farm the land on his family's property, which what I gather is the property that his grandparents gifted him 2 years ago. So that would have made him 17 on his father's side. The poker machines, yes and no. It depends on the vendor, to be honest. Because I guess from what they're saying is people play them so much to earn free hotel night stays there, kind of like you would when you're playing in the casino. He told his grandma he would call her back later that day, but never did. And I believe that was when he was going to put his what do you call it? His tractor in the shed. And of course, because it was going to rain and he was going to put his tractor away, his grain tractor, he didn't want his grain to get wet. And Jim manned that gate. And what was interesting, and some people put grain truck, yep. And what was interesting is they didn't put the gate up until fairly recently, from what I understand. So that's pretty insane in itself. There we go. I'm all caught up. Now, the other case that I wanted to look at, but there's still so many things and so many players in this, even though that's a tiny, tiny, tiny town, they are all connected. And it's all with meth. It's all with robbery, assault. It's pretty insane. Yeah, they definitely, he was a jerk. And also what I took note last night was James Brenner and Chase were dating the same lady at the same time. So that makes it even crazier, in my opinion. I think her name was Betsy. So then there's two women in town, Betsy and Ellen. I don't know of any other women in town, but it was, I think they're pretty close to solving that case. And the mob crew have been droning over and searching other area, which they had the all clear to search recently, which was pretty cool because they requested everybody to stop. Miss Robin, no, I don't. I've jumped in every now and then, but it's just, that's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. And I like to kind of just go by facts and my own gut instincts. They were also eyeballing Scott Wadsworth, which he's been MIA. And he's a definite SO. And that would be Kurt's brother. So, Anissa, the main guy that they're holding behind is James Brenner. He did live in town. And he, hold on one second. He lived in town, from what I gather, and he was so aggressive and so nasty. He's traveled all over. There's multiple mugshots. You can't find pictures of any of these guys, but some of the sleuths have been able to fish it out of there. But they moved him basically to that ranch where Dylan holds his grain truck. And because he was such a shit show and starting shit and so aggressive. Besides 5+ malicious intent, attempted murder assaults, not including just basic assaults. So this guy was pretty, yeah. And the only entertaining part of this is nobody can pinpoint this guy's height. I had to laugh because I had Tyler Feller on 2 times speed. And he's like, I've heard he's 5'2", I've heard he's 5'11", I've heard he's 5'9", I've heard he's 5'4". Even the locals, they all just like give it a estimation. There's no real description of this guy. Yeah, it's constantly changing, Susanna. And then Chase and him are connected. They dated the same woman, but Chase also was holding all of his weapons in his house. And keep it for safekeeping, supposedly. So that was pretty interesting. Who does that? Who seriously does that? He thought he was hot stuff. Yeah. When we were young, we tend to like a lot of the bad boys. I'm guilty of it myself. But he's got weapon charges. He's spent time. Yeah, I think JLR looked up his official report and included a lot of it. From what I gather, Kurt, he would stay every night at Kurt's house. His parents don't want to admit it. There's a little controversy in this. It's a sore subject. But from what others and locals have said is he would stay there nightly. But to his parents said he would only stay when they had karaoke. So it's kind of a question. And then when we heard Ellen and Dylan Berg, not Dylan, Brandon and Ellen Berg call in, they actually own the saddle store that Kurt rents it from. And he mentioned that he saw Kurt in makeup when he answered the door. Now, their police involvement in that town is so tiny that Brandon said that he was held hostage in his house for at least 2 days before the cops could even get to him. And we're thinking Rogersville is bad with like 45 to 55 minutes. Yeah, he didn't tell a lot of stuff, and that could be just because he was a private and his own life, like when my parents were alive, I didn't say every little thing. I'd just say here and there and then adios. So I've been kind of watching it closely because I feel as though they're onto something, and I've had a few readings on it, but it's pretty insane. I did a spirit box reading on it, actually, and if you hear it, it says jingle jingle. And I know there was an issue of keys and a gate. So that definitely hit home. And it also said Justin is out for blood. So that could be why Justin left town the other day, is he definitely wants justice for his kid. I don't blame him. I would too, But my spirit box session on that was pretty insane. I'm going to plan on doing more. It's just hard with the twins. Now, the other update, I wanted to see if there was any updates on this case in particular. And it's still Daniel Robinson. He also hasn't been getting enough notice. And from what I've gathered, his dad's been low on funds to continue searching for him. Yes, definitely hit that bell. Thank you so much, Miss Robin. And this is Buckeye, Arizona. And they have done little to gather their evidence while the efforts have recovered the remains of people missing in areas police have searched. And there's the petition. This case is also in the comments below. His dad is really trying, and my heart goes out for him so much. because, I mean, he is literally the epitome of boots on the ground searching for your kid, you know? He is out there. He was out there every weekend. And so, it looks like needed is volunteers willing to distribute flyers to bring awareness, or at least somebody to see his face and his case. Because you never know, there could be one person that does recognize him. You know, he is trying so hard. Yeah, he definitely is. I would love to have a dad like that, to be honest. I mean, this is what a father with a missing kid, in my opinion, it's what I would do. He's been asking for donations, and he's been doing this for a year and not done. He needs to find out what happened to his son. He writes, I need to remain in Arizona with my boots on the ground to fight for justice in my son's case. That means working to change the way LE handles missing person cases, while getting law enforcement to do more in finding Daniel, which I honestly believe they need to do more, and especially being that he is an Afghanistan vet and also going through war. He should have more backing, you know. He had the country's back. Honestly, I think it should be returned and reciprocated to him. I founded the Daniel Robinson Foundation. Birthed by the love of my son, Daniel is a person who, when seeing a way to help others, will not hesitate to do so. There are so many families going through exactly and more than what me and my family is going through. The Daniel Robinson Foundation will make distressed families go to find their loved ones a little less painful while narrowing the gap that people of color faces. Every family deserves equal treatment no matter where they come from. The Daniel Robinson Foundation will do its part to provide help for families who experience this injustice. I'm entering a new phase in the search for my son. My concentration will be on the forensics that wasn't done at the scene, which there is not. Hey, Grammy H, good to see you, lovely. At the scene, because law enforcement didn't view his disappearance for what it is, which you got to admit, a lot of law enforcement do not, especially when they are an adult, considered an adult, because they have the freedom to go. But wouldn't you want to consider the ones that know you the most or the closest, to at least eyeball it, you know, and say, hey, this could be legit? And they didn't look at everything. They really didn't. They didn't even look at the black box until the private investigator looked at it. I don't even know if they actually did look at it, to be honest. I would have to look deeper into that. My son went missing under suspicious circumstances, something that the chief police, Chief Hall, thinks happened. But his department treats this case as a person who staged his own disappearance despite evidence that suggests otherwise, which is extremely true. And especially being a veteran of our country, we should definitely stand up and have his back, you know. As a father, I will continue to press law enforcement to do everything possible to find my son, to utilize the same efforts available that they utilize on others that doesn't look like him. I lost total trust in the police department, which is sad because he is a vet and he should have full trust in them. This is the gap that everybody's been trying to fill. department in charge of this case, so I will be seeking change in venue. I need the police in charge to give my son's case to a department willing to investigate in the same manner that I see cases that yield results and answers. I have been fighting for those answers for an entire year. Now, oh, congratulations on your grandbaby. Now, when you look at this, he's lost in the Arizona desert, right? And so is Dylan. So he should be getting the same amount of attention on the same side, you know? I think he should be. He definitely... I totally sympathize with you, Grammy H. I was getting punched in the nose at the end of Bullhorn Betty's live. Yes, Aiden is also another one that I wanted to go over, Aiden Kloon. Looks like they are actually going to do another search for him, I want to say tomorrow, the 9th, right? I have the flyer, and I can be sharing that. I might make a short video of it, but they are having another search for him. And another, I'm going to touch back on my one necrophonics reading, and you specifically, it says, hey, I need to get to the hospital. And when Dylan mentioned he picked up somebody that was all bloody and disoriented, it made me think of him, to be honest. Because it would make, I don't know why, but it's just what my gut says. And if any of them are connected, it's a possibility, or it might be completely separate. You never know. But it definitely is, that needs attention too. So what I'm going to be focusing on is highlighting more of the unknown missing as well, and try to get the traction on there. I know Chase did admit it was him bloody. So that was probably a bait for Jim. If it was mile marker 53, right? I definitely know there's multiple players into that case. Definitely do. Yeah, Chase admitted it. He was the last person to see Dylan on his way to go into the... He dropped him off at 53. See, that just doesn't make sense. Because if Chase lives in town, why is he going to drop him off at mile marker 53? Instead, he Valley or something like that. And that's why they started searching all of the locations over there. That was pretty crazy. Yeah, I think I might be doing map time too on that. I think we're going to have a collaboration for the map time on that. Because I'm still having difficulty even to find the property on there. But anyways, I'm going to get going. I just wanted to go over a couple of cases, give you a mindfulness message, an angel message. Yeah, if they cooperate. Good idea. Now neighbors are throwing off fireworks. I hear them going off, bottle rockets. But I definitely want to highlight Doug Live from Northport. There's some big happenings going on that I'm going to stay closely tuned into, because Doug is definitely, no matter what side of the line you are on in true crime, he hit the nail on the head of everybody loves and adores him. So his PayPal is in the comment in the description below, along with Dolly Vision, Jimmy, his channel, and his drive-through with Cody Bigsby yesterday is in the description below. And I believe he is, from what I hear, going to search today and do some more boots on the ground. So I'm excited to see that, because Cody Bigsby definitely deserves more attention, along with Oakley Carlson, who's always had my heart. Something's just weird with Snake River, and it ties into a lot of the cases. It ties in with Oakley. It ties in with Michael. It ties in with Dylan. Snake River definitely has my attention. But on that note, I might come back live later and we'll do some map time, some brainstorming. But I wanted to say hi, love y'all, and we will do some catch up later. Love y'all.